to unmute. Tonight's
Take
technical
two.
issue night. Um, yeah, we're having some technical problems with Advancing Wall, and I just forgot to unmute the mic. So, welcome to episode 16. We're going to be talking about YouTube heroes and DMCA and a lot of other items on the agenda. Whole bunch. Anyhow, um, has anybody checked, before we get started any further, has anybody checked to see if the stream actually has audio like it's supposed to?
No.
After the little incident James had the other day further.
I don't.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, it's got audio.
Okay.
Got it.
I just wanted to make sure.
A little on-air tech support.
There we go. I'll get her added back in real quick. Okay. All right. Rick, did you have a specific area you wanted to start with first, or anybody else?
Well, what do we want to talk about first?
Well, I figured, we'd get into that EM drive stuff, especially since that's such a major piece of technology that's come up in the last probably 20 years.
Yeah, you want to start with that?
Sure.
All right. So with the EM drive, it's a crazy idea. So it's basically the EM drive is short for Electromagnetic Propulsion Drive. Basically, it's a if you've not seen a picture of it, it's like a cone-shaped.
I've got one up for him.
Okay, so you see the picture right there. Apparently, what they do is they bounce some photons into this chamber, and it resonates back and forth, creating thrust. And what the big deal is with this is that it violates the law of let me pull it up real quick. One of the basic laws of physics, where you can't create nor destroy energy. You take it in one form and you create it in another. So, for instance, thrust on an airplane.
What's happening?
You take fuel and you turn it into heat thrust. But with this, you're not using any fuel at all. You're just using photons. And so people are scratching their heads on how this could actually work. It's been tested several times, and I think NASA's about ready to publish a paper, meaning it's past peer review for the whole world to see. And they're actually launching a small version of it into space at some point in the near future to actually test whether or not it works in zero gravity.
So I know nothing about this, but so you're telling me NASA's trying to get us out of our solar system?
I don't know if it'll be that fast of an engine that you could go interstellar. It's more like interplanetary. Like a Mars mission with that engine is 70 days.
Right.
That's
it's
just a little.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's considerably faster propulsion than we've ever had before. And I think they said it only takes like a 2 megawatt nuclear power source, and I think one of the articles I read said the ICBMs have been using power sources similar to that design since the 80s.
It's I'm sorry, let me interrupt for a second. It's the law of conservation of momentum that it violates, apparently.
But
one of the basic tenets of physics.
But yeah, on a very relatively small amount of power, you could propel a craft a pretty good distance in a very short period of time.
All funded by Facebook?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Why not?
He has been funding stuff.
It's not SpaceX, right?
So have they tested this thing, or is this all theory based still?
It's been peer reviewed. Or it's like three different groups here on the planet have, as opposed to anywhere else, have tested it and all detected low amounts of thrust. Which, if it didn't work at all, you wouldn't see anything. But they're seeing something, so something is going on. We just don't know what it is yet. But it does produce a small amount of thrust without fuel.
Reactionless drive could potentially make it to the moon in just a few hours. That's nuts.
Well, what's crazy about that is Saturn V is how big of a rocket? I mean, it's several.
No.
Yeah, it went off for some reason.
Oh, your internet must have
Brain farted.
blurped.
Something.
Yeah.
It's not that funny. Gee.
Here we are. Now
I'm gonna give it a sec, just see if it's just the server's brain farted again. the ads running. I don't know if the stream's up yet.
Yeah, I saw it on man. It's up right now.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. It seems like tonight's technical difficulty night.
Gremlins.
Because I'm here.
Oh hell, you should have been here for the David Crane episode. We had David Crane, the creator of Pitfall, on here, and the servers for Twitch quit. You couldn't load up the website. You couldn't stream to the servers, and I just kept the hard drive recording. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean,
I'm Santana.
Yeah, so with the shrinking the travel time to the moon from days to hours, that's pretty crazy.
yeah, it's 250-some thousand miles from Earth to the moon, so that's a huge distance to cover in a very short period of time.
Do you think it'll ever in our lifetime be a
Well, I
thing?
mean, they're going to send a test model up real soon, so it could very well. I mean, I don't know about interplanetary travel with it, but at least a step in the right direction.
I'd say it's the closest equivalent in sci-fi would be like an impulse engine in Star Trek. You know, it's fast enough to move short areas, like say from a planet to a moon, or to position the craft to park it at a dock of some kind, but you wouldn't really want to use it for long distance moves.
So,
I mean, they could tweak it to large scale form eventually, I would imagine.
Yeah.
would any of you, if NASA said they wanted to throw some normal people into, a craft and take you up to Mars for a year, would you go?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'll sign up
I'd leave this at
wherever.
the house too.
If you could tell me I could go into space tomorrow,
Yes.
and then but I can never return, I will die. So even if it's for a week, I'd be like, let's do it, let's go.
Let's go see what's out there.
Let me get my overnight bag. Let's do this. Let's go to space.
Then say shut the hatch. Do they have Xbox Live in here?
No.
I mean, the satellite is like probably 30 feet from where you'll be, so I don't know why they wouldn't.
It'd be the strongest signal ever.
Come on now, you'd be in space. You'd have
Would
more
that
things
not
to worry
be
about
the
than
most
Xbox
epic
Live.
multiplayer session ever? First, say you had a facility on the moon and they were network gaming people on Earth.
All right, completely off subject, but come on. You don't think an astronaut has never taken a smartphone into space? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, come
sure,
on.
they
You don't
have.
think people, it would be really sad if solitaire is the only thing that's ever been played in space. Or...
I think they have other energy concerns other than powering an Xbox and a TV. I'm just saying.
Well, they say that
Microsoft should pay to have someone on the space station play an Xbox Live game.
Right.
That'd be the
would be-
greatest marketing.
That
Yeah,
would be like the ultimate, our network's so
I mean,
stable.
Even astronauts can play you online.
There you go.
Boy,
Pretty
NASA's
crazy.
probably, if they ever heard that, they'd be like, oh, God, shut up, guys. Oh, shut up. The
They
logistics
gotta
of
have some downtime.
setting up a network like that would be a nightmare.
You're all dorks. Come on.
Whatever. We're collectively dorks. What do you mean?
I agree.
Hey, even the Enterprise had holodecks.
It'd be like, when you had to send someone out on the roof to change the antenna, someone would have to go out and change the dish.
Yes, that's great.
Spacewalk.
God damn it, Rick, get out there and twist that dish a
They're
little
like,
bit. I
rock,
fucking
paper,
lost my
scissors.
game.
Right. Who goes out?
Whoever loses has to go out and fix the dish today.
Suit up.
And Brittany and Santana's been awful quiet.
I'm taking everything in and just watching.
So, the question...
I've barely read anything about this, so.
Well, the question...
I know so much.
It's
I don't want to make you
cool.
guys look bad by saying anything.
I think
Yeah,
the question
sure,
that was
yeah.
thrown out is, if they walked up to you today and said, hey, you can take a ride on to space, would you do it? Even if it meant not a return trip?
I would want to return, but I would want to go to space.
But
I would absolutely, if they would say, hey, do you want to go up and hang out on the space station for a week's vacation? Totally would do it. I'm just saying, I would totally do it.
I would do it, But if
Yeah.
they're like, you're probably gonna die if you could do that, then no.
Well,
wouldn't
they're
do
just
it.
going to tell you that you have the 50-50
You may
chance.
never come back. You might
Man.
get lost out there.
I think I would probably just like, I don't know. Like I think I would be like, no, I'm staying up here. You know, I'm not leaving. You know, I mean, it's not like it's
living
international
conditions
waters,
are
right?
good.
I mean,
Send
Have
some
you
more
guys-
brew up, guys.
Have you seen like the astronauts actually do videos up in space? Like you can't cry, you can't do anything like out there because even tears get stuck to you and they like grow into your
Yeah.
eye. It's really weird and messed up.
Um,
So it would be very hard to get used to that. Like if you were just floating out there into space, it would be interesting, I think.
like Santana was talking about, I watched a video on YouTube where NASA had the astronauts were messing around with just a ball of water. It was floating in the middle of the room, and the guy pushed a camera into it, and then you could see from the camera's point of view, everything was just kind of waving in front of it, and they were
So cool.
spinning the camera around inside of the ball of water and stuff like that. It was neat.
It's very cool.
I'd go. I don't care. I think it'd be cool.
I got the weekends off. I'll do it. Whatever. Let's go.
A weekend trip to the lunar house.
Damn it, we were just born like 100 years too early, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm
no
sure
doubt.
it's not that like the 1700s or something, you know.
Right.
1800s.
We were born 100 years too early for. I
Now,
don't know what came out in the late 1800s
one
or
subject.
any time in the 1800s, I guess.
I'd like to see like what somebody like Jules Verne or somebody like that would say if they got to actually go up and sit in a space station and look down. I mean, they always kind of science fiction wrote those stories and stuff like that about travel like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, H.G. Wells in War of the Worlds.
Or Arthur C. Clarke being so goddamn close with his guesstimations on where technology would be by the time we hit 2001. The only thing he was short on was interplanetary travel.
Yeah.
I mean, video phones. I mean, a lot of
You know what
that
they don't
stuff.
talk about is that once you leave, you know, our atmosphere and stuff, every astronaut out there basically has so much radiation poisoning because like the suits
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
can't really. We have not really created a way to live out there. If you're out there for too long, you're definitely gonna die because of all the radiation. Like, there's no protection. We have our suits and stuff and the crafts, but it's not enough at all.
Well, there was
So
that
it's
one
kinda
guy
like-
who was up there for a year, just
Yeah.
recently.
How's he doing now that he's back? They won't tell you. They won't tell you those details.
I'm not sure yet.
They
I'm
won't.
trying to
they'll
think
say
of the
he's
astronaut's
okay.
name, but there was a Soviet astronaut that stayed up for an extended period of time. When he got to the ground, they literally had to carry him.
See?
His muscle mass had disintegrated so much he couldn't move his legs or arms.
Not only that, but
Yeah.
bone mass too, because you lose calcium in space as well.
And radiation.
How?
It just because I guess
Just
gravity holds it
does.
there. and
Astronaut ice cream.
astronaut.
There's calcium in milk. Ice cream.
So I'm
Aw.
sure they're eating it, but maybe it leaves at a rate that they can't replace
Your
it at.
body realizes that
Eight.
there's not enough gravity
It's-
pulling it down, so it doesn't need to resist that as much, and it's wasted resources if you don't need it. So your body just quits producing it pretty
The
much.
the lack of gravity makes the density of your bones less. That's what it is. I mean, you
Yeah.
can have all the calcium you want, but the density of the strength changes due to not having gravity or
And
less
I'm pretty
gravity.
sure isn't like your circulation also terrible because all your fluids and stuff even out. So that's why they exercise so much too. To
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, obviously their muscles and that kind of thing, but man, there's so many issues. It's not fair.
Well, that's
I want
the
to
thing.
make it easy, like
Right.
you know, so we can do space adventures and do bounty hunts.
Yeah.
Bounty hunts.
Right. Yeah.
But
Mercenary
the one
work.
the one thing
Somebody
we haven't the one
already-
thing we haven't figured out yet is what we see in movies, and we have to make a imitation gravity inside, and we haven't figured that out yet. You know,
The only way that we've come up with to do artificial gravity is to take the craft and rotate it at a certain speed to get 1G.
and that's not even true gravity. That's more like centripetal forces or whatever.
It does trick the body and it does work, but it's kind of cumbersome. It would be nicer to be able to do it like, say, Star Wars or
Like
Star Trek, where you have a device that just pulls you down.
Artificial gravity.
So I have no idea how far off the subject we are. So anybody wants to take off on something, just go right ahead.
It involves space travel, so we're
Okay,
pretty
okay.
close. We're still in orbit.
We're still.
Aliens. Do they exist?
Well,
Dude,
man,
Why
has-
haven't we
has
seen
anyone
them and
ever-
played video games with me?
Has anyone ever died in space?
Oh,
I
not
have a
in
couple.
space.
People
I don't-
entering space.
yeah,
Right,
going
trying to
up
get-
and coming down.
Yeah.
They have died, but
You know we could find out.
No, I already
Google is
am.
Lord.
Google.
I
No one
got-
has died in space. It's all been coming in or leaving. And then all their remains return to the Earth.
which is surprising because most of the debris and the junk up there is moving at about 25 to 35,000 miles an hour. So getting hit by that's like getting hit by a laser beam, even if it's just a bolt.
So
Well,
apparently,
just remember they're moving at that speed too, so the stuff's not hitting them at that speed.
Yeah,
I looked up how many people have been lost in space, and
Ah, it's a
apparently, there have been 2 space shuttles have been lost with 7 astronauts each. Once after the launch and once re-entry.
Yeah.
The only
Nice.
fatalities that may have been in space were 3
Cosmonauts.
on Soyuz 11.
Soyuz.
Have you guys ever heard of I think it's called the Black Knight. They gave it the
Yeah.
nickname.
Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting. Have you guys? Anyone else? The only one?
What
He's
is
the
it?
coolest one. I'm just kidding.
It's an object in orbit that
Yeah.
it was there.
No one knows where it came from. It's
Yeah.
Is it a satellite? Did they determine, or is it just a random object?
They don't know. It was there before any
Okay.
satellites were.
Yeah.
Did you
So-
say the
Like
Black
before-
Knight?
It's called
Yes.
the Black Knight.
Like
Okay,
the
alright.
Martin
Any
Lawrence
movie.
movie Black Knight? What are we
Yeah.
The movie.
yeah.
The movie was so bad they just said it. No, I'm just kidding.
Satellite. All right, here we go. Black Knight satellite.
Yeah, there's a picture of it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
creepy.
No, more
Yeah.
like Monty Python's Black Knight.
Dude, I don't like seeing that.
It's only
Tis a flesh wound.
Where did it go?
This
I
was
feel
a
like-
flesh wound.
It was some failed experiment from some other country, and they're too embarrassed to admit to it. They're like, "Yeah, let them believe it's aliens. Sure, that's it. We ain't claiming it." It's like, I don't know.
Me and Rick
Probably
was,
crap they didn't want, and they just shot it up there. I'm like,
me and
oh, it
Rick
worked.
was kind of gabbing a little bit earlier about quantum entanglement, and they get like 2 particles that actually can, if you do something to this particle, then this mirror particle does exactly the same thing. Doesn't matter how
Hey.
far apart they are.
By the way, great segue into that.
Is that our
Thank
next
you.
subject?
Thank you.
Is
And
that what we're
That's
talking about
technically
now?
our next subject. Yeah.
Ah.
well, we were talking about land gaming between Earth and the Moon and communications
Right.
on cell phones and stuff. And if you used quantum entanglement, if it works the way they believe it works, you would be able to instantly transmit data from one place to another with no
That would
delay.
be cool.
Well, it's not really
Ooh.
transmitting
No.
because quirky things in the quantum mechanics world. It's basically replicated simultaneously. So if one photon has the information, then the other one it's entangled with has it instantaneously.
Now, the first thing that I heard everybody say was, hey, that could be a transporter. And it's like, no, because you have to make the particles be
Kinda.
entangled, and then you have to move that one. So you'd have to at least visit that place to make it a transporter. That's kind of a, I don't see it like that. I see it more as perfect communications for long distance. Instantly transmitting data from point A to B regardless of distance.
I mean,
Like the internet.
there has to be some latency of some sort, being that they have to be entangled with the next one and with the next one.
There's
I mean,
zero latency.
I mean, if
Zero.
you're saying they have to be entangled, but if you need to get it here and it's not entangled there yet,
Well, they have to
get it-
pass by each other first.
That's
sure.
what I'm saying. So there's some sort of latency at
But-
some point when they have to pass each other.
Right, but once the entanglement occurs, then it's simultaneous, instantaneous.
Yeah, it's just bam, bam,
So
instantly.
you
I understand.
entangle your
I'm just-
particles and you put batch A in the transmitter receiver for, say, your shuttle, and the other batch in your transmitter receiver on the ground, and you're instantaneously transmitting data between the two, in theory.
Well, not in theory anymore.
Mm.
There was an experiment that proved that it worked.
Oh, really? I did
Yeah,
not know
that's
that.
yeah. It's the this quantum teleportation they call, or I've got the article. Yeah, yeah, quantum teleportation. They'd always theorized this would work in the labs, but they had never done it in the real world, and they did it with a piece of fiber optics from 4 miles away in one experiment. And
Wow.
I forget there's two experiments that happened. One was 4 miles. I think one was 8 miles, and they were successful. So it's the real deal. Let me see if I can find that article and let you all tear it apart if you want.
Should totally find that article.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about quantum mechanics. It's just so bizarre. It's just all probability. That's all it is.
Yep.
Probability.
Yeah, you take a beam of light, you'd think you'd shine it through 3 slits, you would get 3
You're
slots
talking about the
on
double
wall.
slit.
Yeah, you'd think on the wall you would have the same number as slots in the plate that you're shooting through, but you don't. You get like almost like a wave effect out of it, like it spreads and has multiples.
Well, okay. So here's how that works. So this explains the particle and wave behavior of a photon, or light, I should say. If you don't measure a photon getting shot through a slit, it makes what they call a wave pattern. Basically, it shows up on every spot on the other side of the slit. But if you take a measurement of it as it's going through the slit, then it either goes in the left one or the right one. It's only when you're looking at it that this happens. Otherwise, when you're not, it does a completely different, that wave pattern I mentioned. It's very bizarre. This one's been done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. It happens. We
It
don't
defies
quite know
logic.
why. That's quantum mechanics. It's weird.
It's weird.
Crazy world. I mean, and quantum mechanics is not theory. It works. It's the reason why we have cell phones, microwaves, lasers, transistors, every integrated circuits, everything that we use. Even being able to do this stream right now is because of quantum mechanics and quantum theory. It's bizarre.
Oh my God! There's a burglar.
There! This is one of our.
I'll call the
viewers.
cops for you.
Whoa, what
Anyway,
was that?
as we
Yeah.
were saying
It's a...
in our professional discussion before Brittany ruined it. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all about fun and games till somebody loses an eye, anyway.
I think you know what you have to do, Brittany.
Watching her eyes go.
she's over there.
Am I?
No, Dave's over there.
With quantum physics, I could be anywhere.
I see, James is above me. And
No,
Gary's
you're
over
above
there.
me. I got Rick. Hold on.
I'm on the very bottom.
It's like a fucked up family,
She's over there.
family square or whatever,
Like-
Hollywood squares.
$25,000 pyramid over here.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't hear us. Oh no.
That makes it more fun for him. He can
Yes.
just imagine what we're saying, and he'll never know.
Yeah, he's like, man, they must be making fun of me.
Yep, you'll never know.
Did you guys want to take a quick breather real quick? Because we're almost at 11.
I've been breathing this whole time, actually.
Okay,
You guys haven't?
then you're in good shape.
Nope, and hold my breath.
Oh.
I don't breathe oxygen.
Alright, we'll be back here in a few.
Filipino champ Ryan Ramirez.
All right, we're back now.
Hey, are we back?
Yep.
Okay.
How about now?
And we have
Well,
Pikachu with us.
Dead air.
I'm still laughing at Santana.
That's rude. I don't know what's so funny.
Well, did you guys want to go ahead and get into the YouTube Heroes program? I've been kind of dreading getting into it because I'm afraid I'm going to get a little ranty on it. Because I think the whole concept is flawed from the get-go. It's just a mess.
Mess. Absolutely. I concur already.
I mean,
So
you're
what's the
letting people that could possibly be vindictive because
They will be vindictive.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, and trying to find nice words to kind of put it, but essentially what's going to happen is Channel 1's going to get pissed at Channel 2, so he's going to be in the hero program, go over and multi-ban or flag a bunch of videos.
Speak.
I'm sorry. Did you explain for our audience what exactly is YouTube Heroes?
Okay, essentially this program lets a person sign up and police the comments and the videos and be able to flag them, I think both positively and negatively, but we know how that's going to go.
Mhm.
And anybody can sign up for this and anybody can do this as far as I can tell from the data, from the information I've found. So there's no limits. You can be a broadcaster or a YouTuber, or you could be just Joe Blow schmuck down the street, and you could go in there and just multi-flag a bunch of things and say, I'm a dick. And
What maybe the signing up process is very, very good and strict, and they like get in huge troubles if they abuse it, or I'm playing
what do
devil's
you
advocate
put?
here.
Like your resume, I was
That's
a
good.
tattletale from 3rd to 7th grade. What do you mean, Nate?
That's
To
good.
look something up?
Okay, I have to say that already videos, I know I have friends that are like big YouTubers that get flagged constantly from legit like programs and companies that don't understand, like when they're doing like say video reviews like of movies and stuff, which should be okay.
called
They'll still
fair
get flagged.
use.
Then they have to wait. Like, there's no repercussion for the people just randomly flagging things all the time, right? But they're the ones being punished for it, even if they're in the right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, then if you get this program going on, it's just going to be way more hassle for those people. You know what I'm saying? I think.
I look at it like, all right, let's say you're playing a game that either I want to be good at but I'm terrible at, or I stream this game and I want the viewers that you have. Like, if I know that I'm in competition with you, if you stream at a certain time of the day that I stream, and I know that, half the people in your chat sometimes watch me, half the time they watch you, I could just put all this negativity towards you and then cut you out completely.
I personally
feels like
will
it
go
could be
after you,
manipulated.
Jim Powell. Just
Well,
say.
I mean,
Is
bring it,
there-
do it.
Is it so? Do they take your word unquestionably, or do they go through a process of verifying that the content does need to be flagged?
Well,
Their scoring
I'm sure
system,
they'll
or
have to have some kind of
Like,
verification
repetition.
process.
There's a scoring system for how much they get in there and do that stuff, but there's nothing that says that they can't consistently do it wrong and have repercussions for that.
I was reading something today about flagging, but I don't know if that's how it will actually be, or if that was a suggestion from someone on how to administer that. What I was reading was saying that it would work as sort of a pyramid thing, where a group of people had to flag it, and then that would move up the ranks, and eventually, if it wasn't agreed upon after like multiple hierarchies of flaggers, then it would make it to YouTube staff. I would actually like to find that article again.
But they already kind of do that process. If you, there's like people
Yeah.
can flag videos now and do that. So what
Right
would be the point?
here is the legal contract for the music in my game. My Let's Play video got shot down. I said, well, I have documentation. I sent them a message, and the robot system caught it, and just going to sit there for 30 days until they act on it. Then they'll probably send me an email, and I'll send them a copy of the document, and then it'll be another 30 days before anybody does anything about it, and they'll just try to cock block me the whole time. Because that's essentially what the whole system's based around.
Have you guys ever heard of the Nostalgia Critic by any chance?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's going through this crap right now. Like, he's been posting about a lot lately, actually. About his videos that keep getting flagged and pulled down, and he has to go through that process that you're talking about. So he's losing out on all this.
That's why it takes
all these views, money, and all this stuff because people keep flagging his stuff, and it shouldn't be flagged, and it always goes right back up. But the process is ridiculous because you're being reprimanded for doing nothing wrong.
Mine got shot down because the music pattern matched a database. Well, the music is in the game, legally licensed to it. It doesn't have in the database, well, there are certain game titles that belongs to, and maybe if that's attached to it, then maybe we should kind of ask for proof of ownership or something like that. It just goes and throws it in the queue of copyright infringement, and that's it. That's the end of the conversation.
Well, basically what's happening there, obviously, it's automation. It's AI deciding whether or not that's right or wrong. And the unfortunate part is that not as many humans are getting your request to say that's not copyrighted, and they have to look at it, review it, decide. You can imagine it takes a lot of extra time. There's no automation for it to be uncopyrighted as it is to be flagged in the first place.
That's kind of where I think this YouTube Heroes is stepping in, is they're making us do their job for them. And they're already making a killing off of the ads that are on everybody's videos, and they're only throwing peanuts out to the broadcasters.
Technically, Google makes money off of everybody.
Yeah.
They I don't know, they get things started with people, and then more people, just so on. Some people even work for free for God's sake, so.
So,
why are you guys looking at each other over there?
No.
Being
No.
silly.
No, weird
Sorry.
Yes, keep going. Oh, come on.
So do they have any kind of vetting process for the people who sign up to do this?
I want to sign up, by the way, and I'm going after Jam Pal.
Good luck.
I don't need luck. I have to
Something I thought was funny, I had no idea would happen. My daughter and myself and her boyfriend were playing Rock Band 3 the other day, and this kind of goes along with the DMCA stuff. We were broadcasting on Twitch, and it's hysterical because the first full chunk of the song, 3/4 of it, is on Twitch. Then there's a small 30-second window that's blanked out, has no audio. So you're like, okay, well, why did you block the last 30 seconds if you didn't block the entire song?
Who polices it? Like, if I'm playing a game and I've got Pandora on,
yes,
and then 2 weeks later I go back and watch it and it's bleeped out. Do they have some sort of bot that says?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a bot. Absolutely. It's an AI,
Stupid
and if it recognizes actual songs that are supposedly copyrighted, the thing is, one of the guys I watch on Twitch plays a channel that's supposed to be a Twitch channel that nothing on there is supposed to be copyrighted. It's supposed to play only songs that you're allowed to restream on your while you're playing your game, and he'll still occasionally have little spots that are red where it's blanking out songs, and it's the bot doing the wrong thing. So it's not perfect by any means.
Poor programming.
I don't know about that. It's complex, but
yeah, it's just kind of hard to write something that's going to cover the entirety of all copyrighted material. And get it right 100% of the time.
That goes along with a lot of things that are released anymore. It's like, well, we'll let them beta test it out for us and put up with the headache of it. We'll get the benefits of it.
They'd rather it do the wrong things and copyright them than to let things slip through.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that comes at a cost to the users, though.
Yeah, but they don't care. They'd rather not get in trouble for copyright material, but they'd rather you all just be complaining about that your stuff's muted.
I think what goes along with that is that, you know, when you have these big YouTubers and there's advertisements, right? Because they get paid to have advertisements on there. They monetize their videos and
Yeah.
stuff. And what YouTube, I think, is concerned with is those advertisers, right? Because that's where they're getting their money too. And if you have anything that's like not supposed to be on there, illegal or whatever, that can hugely affect, you know, like those companies. Does that make sense? I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason why they're just like, well, better play it safe. We'll just screw them over now and figure it out later if it was right.
Right.
Because they're not concerned about them, because they're more concerned with the companies that they're attached to, you know.
And
Yeah. Now,
Nintendo's
on the-
probably the most grievous, gross over offender of the whole bunch. I mean, you can just have anything remotely related to Pokemon on your desk or something, and they will throw a shit fit on everybody.
On the
Gameplay
other-
footage.
See, I see a lot of
On the other
Pokemon Go
hand-
stuff going on, but actually,
You
I
have to-
put up a Pokemon Go thing.
Yeah,
I haven't heard
have a
anything
couple
yet.
of those.
Yeah.
The other thing we have to take consideration, I guess, is that it could be worse for the fact that if you streamed for 8 hours and you had one song in there, they could just take the whole video offline.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's anything.
You know,
on there,
so
yeah.
but what's better about it is that it literally is smart enough and it can go in and blank out just 2 minutes and 30 seconds of a song,
Or
and
do,
your video gets to still get viewers and
or do
stuff.
like Twitch or YouTube does and just throw the video in limbo until you either get tired of fucking with it or the company finally gives it the okay.
You know, if
I had
was,
like audio just taken before. That's
I
annoying.
think if I was Twitch or YouTube, I think I would take the song out that you've played illegally, and I would throw like an embarrassing song in there. I would do
that would
something
be
else,
hilarious.
That'd be
like
They
awesome.
should
you're
do
listening
that.
to like Gary's, death metal music, and all of a sudden it's just like
Oh
the
my
Care Bears
gosh.
theme or something
Yes.
like that. It's like
Or
we know
yakety
what you
sax.
like, yeah.
That would be awesome. They should do that. That
Yeah,
would be
Benny
way
Hill style.
cooler of
The
them.
only
Yeah.
the only form of music you can go to
The
any
bit-
country and go like that, and somebody inevitably in that crowd somewhere will go right back at you. But,
Okay.
Nintendo.
No, that's random. I feel like. Where did that come from?
I missed the
James
setup
was
for that.
talking about.
I missed the
mine.
transition.
James
I
was
am
talking
supposed to
about-
do
NX.
this now.
Nintendo NX.
Okay.
What do
Yeah,
we know
next
so
topic.
far?
Oh, I had something to point out about. A final thing to point out about
Too
the.
late. It's too late.
Ah!
You had your chance. You blew it. Go back.
Supposedly, people will also get points for sharing knowledge, which I finally found out that is helping people understand how Google products work. And
Mhm.
what was the other thing? There was something else. Oh, adding captions and translations, but people can already do that.
I can't. No.
Shoot, I was trying to think of what it is. There's a couple of things you can do with Google that they aren't telling people, but like some people already know it. But like if you take some of their surveys, or if you have Google Maps on your phone and you take a picture of a restaurant you're in, it takes the location device and says, "Hey, you're at this restaurant. Would you like to add this to it?" Anyway, if you continue to add that stuff to it, they'll give you more space on your Google Drive.
Oh,
Like,
Really?
so for every 100 restaurants you go to and take a picture and put there, then they'll give you 100 more megs of space. And it's weird, and people don't know that. But if you continuously take their surveys on the Google rewards,
So it's like Bing points or whatever that no one
it's
does,
kind of
right?
like that. Yeah, that no one does, exactly. I thought the Google thing was kind of cool, though. It's neat. I don't use Google Drive, but I thought, well, maybe I will start using Google
I
Drive if I want to
wonder.
make it if I get 60 gigs or something.
I wonder if any of the points will be used toward that for people doing this program on YouTube. No?
I mean,
I mean, you're
it's
supposed to get
possible
points
at
for
some
doing
point.
all of these things.
Does it allow you to get points to the Play Store to purchase apps?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh.
Now, the one thing that I use right now that gives you is called it's called Google Opinion Rewards. I don't know if
Okay.
I can almost read it.
Anyway, if you get this reward app right now, I had it up to $50 some. But every time I answer a survey, I get like 10 or 20 cents.
Oh,
maybe
nice.
50 cents according if it has more than 5 questions.
Okay.
But right now I have $4.42. I can buy stuff in the App Store.
I think that's how I got like $25 on my Xbox
And
Live
James
account.
knows that I got
Something
up to $50,
similar.
but when Pokemon Go came out, then I spent money. I haven't spent any real money, but I took surveys and used Pokemon.
There you go.
Virtual money.
Right. Let Google pay for your addiction.
Why not?
Well,
Well, guys.
Okay.
About 15
That was
more
all I
minutes.
wanted to bring up.
What?
We got
That
about
was all I wanted to bring up.
Okay. What's our next topic? What do we do now?
Well,
James
now
got
we're
something
through
next
the Google thing a little faster than I thought we would be with the YouTube.
Oh.
I mean, we could probably, if we search deep down in ourselves, we may be able to form more opinions.
I
have
particularly
opinions.
can't do this.
I don't want to make an ass out of myself because I really think the whole idea for the YouTube heroes is just a bunch of bullshit that they come up with to get out of doing their damn job, which is run that site.
Oh, hey, you made
Hey
me
man,
think
there's a
of
bunch of
something.
free people who like to give their opinions, just like you, myself.
So,
So these people are gonna do it for free.
Is the people higher on the totem pole of heroes, they're supposed to be able to directly contact a YouTube associate or whatever. Well, okay, so I've never personally attempted to contact Google or YouTube.
I have. It's a terrible, horrible thing.
And that is what I've heard.
It will not happen. They do not exist.
I can tell you all about it.
This has been pissing off a ton of people. Like, usually whenever I've been trying to look up information about this, all over Reddit, there's person after person saying, why should they be able to contact a YouTube associate? I can't even contact them. And I don't know, which I do agree that I feel like if you are creating things on YouTube, you should be given higher priority as far as contact with one of their associates than with a heroes volunteer.
Well,
I don't think you can. Sorry.
From Smosh to Pewds to all those guys, none of them can get a hold of somebody hardly that's human. I mean, it takes an act
Look,
of Congress.
I work in the technical support. I would say most people who want to contact them have stupid questions. They probably don't need to even be contacted. And so I'd say there's a huge percentage of people that Google is probably doing the right thing.
Do you think they're like, I want to film something, send the YouTube camera crew over here and let's get this online? Do you think it's like that stupid? Or do you think it's stuff like, I don't have internet, but I still want to use YouTube type, even stupider questions?
I'd say there's a little both.
I mean, you've worked in the field long enough that there are the dumbest questions you could possibly ever hear. So... And I'm sure Google is trying to weed out all the idiots just as much as possible. Some people might be upset, but most people don't care.
When I contacted YouTubes, it was because of the partnership program, right? I have a YouTube and I did that program and it glitched out on me, which rarely happens but sometimes does, where it stopped all monetization of videos, right? And so I contacted them thinking they could help, and they're like, nope. Literally, they said, we can't do anything. The bot kind of has to fix itself and just hope that it works out later for you, because sometimes it just doesn't work, and then you just have to wait a while. And I researched it, I tried everything to try to fix it, and people were like saying, well, they were still waiting almost a year, and the program still wouldn't work for them or anything. I was freaking out, but it actually did fix itself within a week. But it was still like, what the, and when I called the service, they literally could. And it would have been so easy for them to fix too, I feel like. Like, all they had to do was, reset my application. Because it kept denying, the application thing. It's kind of hard to explain, I guess, for me. I'm bad at explaining. But, because it's just weird. I don't know.
I had something similar with Twitch. On the 10th, when we did our episode where we had David Crane on, the servers crashed on Twitch. You couldn't get on the website, you couldn't stream, nothing. It completely crapped out several times that night, and then it finally stabilized. And the bulk of the show was no big problem. Some point in time there, our stats quit posting for everything. It's just a flat line all the way across, and we've done 2 shows since then, and we've done other little broadcasts of different things here and there, and none of it shows. I write them an email through their little form, send them a message, and the guy goes, it usually takes 24 to 48 hours for the data to post. I'm like, as I mentioned in the previous email, that was 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago now.
Copying and pasting a blurb.
There really is no support, I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, as much as I not taking up for them 100%, but they said that with your app would reset or the bot would fix itself, and that did after a week. So
it did. But what scared me was that a lot of people's it didn't. Like that's what was scaring me. I was like, they're not getting help. It's not being fixed, you know.
There's lots of technical support that has a crappy bunch of 5 guys in a room taking care of thousands of people, and they're terrible.
I mean, but
Google
what kind of answer is that?
Too much money to not have an appropriate customer service division.
Period.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the person I talked to really understood either, like the whole process and the program, because they kept saying, just look on the help, you know how there's like a help link on YouTube?
Yeah.
And he's like, follow the links. And I'm like, that helps me none, because my question's not on there.
It goes in a loop.
Yeah, like she kept repeating herself. I'm like, no, you're not helpful, bye.
I mean, it doesn't instill in me a lot of confidence that for the system that's messing up with my ability to make money will also, it's the same system that will fix itself. I mean, that circular logic is a little concerning if you ask me.
No. If you have a problem at work and you go to your boss, does your boss really care? Your boss doesn't care.
No.
You're following protocol. That's
I'm
all
my own boss.
There you go.
Being a boss, I can honestly tell you, a lot of times I'm like, when I hear complaints, but I still try to deal with them because you have to.
Well, I mean, you also have to think of
not going
just
anywhere
the simple
if you just
fact
go,
that
there's not a problem. That doesn't work.
This stream is not even being used by Twitch. So this software is not being used for Twitch or YouTube. The OBS which I'm pretty sure is what you're using. Like, why should they worry about anything that you use? Or, I mean, they're going to support to make sure that the functionality of it does what Twitch should be doing, but.
The big difference here is Google is making billions of dollars off of YouTube ad revenues off of your videos, whether you monetize or not. And even if you are, they're only giving you peanuts out of that total cascade of income they get.
Whether you guys think or not, dude, I feel that we are all beta testers of this stuff. This stuff is going to be super fantastic one day, where it's going to be, you'll be able to do anything.
Said the creators of Justin.tv.
What?
Sure,
was it just me, or the whole partnership program through YouTube was a little kind of, I don't want to say complicated, but like it doesn't tell you anything about. Yeah, like it doesn't really, you wouldn't even know about it unless you looked it up yourself. And like when I first put up a YouTube channel, okay, I didn't know that, you could get money from YouTube unless you had to do this and that. I thought you could just upload a video, you have your account on there, right, and it would just happen, or something. And my first video, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it makes me very mad because my first video uploaded on YouTube got almost 1 million views, and I didn't get any money from that. Well, I mean, I am getting some money.
Just curious, what was your first video on YouTube? What?
Were you getting yourself hurt, or what?
It is, no. You're just, no. It was actually a parody video at a convention. It was a music video parody of What Does the Fox Say?
Oh, no.
I know. It has many thumbs ups. Thank you, people.
There you go.
But I didn't know, like, the whole partnership thing took a while. I think, doesn't it? I cannot remember now,
takes
but
about a
don't you
week
have
or
to be
two.
on YouTube a certain amount of time too, and have so many subscribers as well?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be on for at least 6 months, and
Okay.
there's like you have to have so many subscribers. I think I don't know
But
entirely.
you also have to have a full, not just account, but I think you also have to have like a billing cycle account with them, right?
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
have to mail you like a card or something, I know, and then
Yes.
you give them your
And
bank statement.
You
blah, blah, blah.
verify everything, and you so that if your video were to get 1 million views, and they start paying you, it has to be automated.
You
So
can't
there's
access.
And
a lot of paperwork.
Yeah,
You can't
you only-
access your money until you
Uh-huh.
reach $100,
Yes.
and that's the point when they send you that little card. That's what I was told.
when you
I'm
first
just saying
sign
if
up.
you do
Yes,
it ahead
that's
of
true.
time.
I didn't get a card. I got grandfathered in, and so they just let me into the partner program because I've had my account since I was 17.
Wow.
Very
So
cool.
you never had to like sign
Wasn't that
up for
last
anything?
year?
No, I signed up for it, but they didn't send me anything in the mail. Absolutely
Oh,
nothing. But
okay.
it says I'm verified.
Right. Okay.
They sent me an email. They said it might take a couple days, but then it went.
It worked out. As long as it worked out.
There's a lot of
I
stuff
figure
about.
I'll figure it out once I make it to $100.
There's a lot of things about YouTube that's kind of sketchy as hell, and nobody can get a straight answer on. And I know they're making money hand over fist, or they'd shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh, duh.
You
Yeah.
mean Google is making all kinds of money?
Yes.
Precisely.
And they're making money off of lots and lots of people that do stuff for free. I mean, that do stuff for Google to
Well, there's still a lot of
rating them. I mean, there's thousands of jobs that people do on the internet to help Google, and they get nothing from it. It's amazing.
I feel like there's still a lot of oblivious people too out there, just making videos, getting tons of views, and getting nothing for it because they just don't know. You know.
I've bumped into a lot of channels where they're like, I know I can get money off these, I just don't care. I just do it because I like doing what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously that small portion of them, but
Who just likes and doing stuff? I mean, that's just weird.
that's some money. Well, guys, it's 11:28. It's about 2 minutes shy for us to shut it down for the evening.
I sure am glad we got all that stuff in on the Nintendo NX.
So glad we were
Well,
able to.
Glad we-
Or the
Hey,
Antikythera mechanism.
Before we do that, do you want to get in on the NX before we close it down for the evening?
We have sometimes we have multiple ideas on the show, but there's sometimes we expand on some of the others like we did
Yeah.
tonight. So
Right?
Brittany,
Obviously.
thanks once again having us go back.
It can
So
be a
what's-
deep subject. We don't want to be all like
Well, I'm satisfied.
herp about it.
I'm satisfied we'll be talking about it again once the program
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah.
So, James, what was the NX news you wanted to talk about?
No, I didn't want to talk about it. It's a cartridge-based system. I think
Yeah.
it's
I
interesting.
did hear about that.
I do too.
They are not trying to compete with Sony or Microsoft on it. It's going to be its own thing.
Makes sense.
So I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do that.
Okay.
Sony claims that Microsoft isn't a competitor. Only, the PC is a competitor. Blah, 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 blah. So, but
okay.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to save it for another time. I mean,
Yes, so.
looks like we're running out of time, and
I mean,
Hey, we can
Any-
go
we
OT if
could-
you want.
I mean, we could save it for next time, and we can all read up on it.
that's right.
Cough, cough. I didn't read up on the NX.
Any
Stands
any
for
final
no
thoughts?
X-rays.
Any final thoughts, Jerry?
Well,
What?
I am.
Oh, here.
Oh Lord.
Guys, I think there's someone in my house watching me.
I was getting ready to
I
say
don't
you got
know
some-
why. I think this.
I think the NX is just going to end up being another Game Boy type device. I don't think it's going to be a
NX
console.
has GPS. Did you guys know that?
No, I
What?
didn't.
Yep.
Well, for the
So
tablet.
Microsoft can tell if your account isn't registered at your house, and you're letting
You
your
don't-
friend
you
use your account.
You're gonna be able to take your controller with you and play Pokemon Go on it.
I'll be right back.
Honestly, I would rather play
version,
Pokemon Go
let's
on a
see.
Game Boy.
I don't know
I
about
hate playing it on the Android phone I had. I hated playing it on that.
We're
We know
down
where
2.
James went.
Somebody had to go pee.
Well, maybe we should take this as our cue to wrap it up.
Hey. Okay. So for this week.
Oh God, Brittany's talking again.
On the cosplay page.
Hey, I'm
if anyone
cosplay.
left watching, and for anyone who's watching on YouTube, as of today, September 24th, 2016. Yes, I just dated the episode. For the next week, I'm running a giveaway contest on my Facebook page, Advancing Wall of Doom.
Is it puppies?
And so all you need to do, you go to my Facebook page and you like the post talking about the giveaway. It's posted right there. Well, listen now, hold on. That's not just what you do. You have to like my page and like the post. So
What's the giveaway?
And then on October 1st, I will draw it. It's essentially throw all the names in a hat and then pull one out. Is
What's
the
the
method
giveaway?
I'm using.
Is it puppy
giveaway? It's a mystery bag.
Oh, I want a
Full
puppy.
of
Hey, the
adorable
puppies.
goodness.
Puppies could be in the mystery bag.
They could be.
Because it's a mystery bag. You never know.
Oh,
It could also be a
yes.
severed head.
I'd say
It
the
could
U.S.
be.
mail would have an issue
And
with
it's
you
what's
sending
in the
live
box?
puppies.
I think it would be funny to do like a "What's in the box" segment.
I want you
and
to
it's
open the
so
Japanese
sad.
box again, like you did last time.
Yes,
That was
You
that
fun.
was
used to do
awesome.
it that way, like it's someone's head in a box.
Oh my!
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Ah.
I lost
there's
my
a-
damn
You're right, Jem Powell
Follow-
isn't very. Oh,
Brad
never
Pitt's
mind.
back. What's in the box?
Follow everyone and all of us
I hope
on
it's
Twitch
I
and
hope it's the Jetsons
Facebook.
movie in the giveaway.
Meet George Jetson.
All right, guys. Much enjoy chatting with you guys. I'm jumping off if you're gonna wrap up or not.
I enjoy
We're-
chatting with me too.
Good evening,
Did you guys
everybody.
realize the Jetsons and the Flintstones is pretty much what Futurama and the Simpsons are today? You guys
Yep.
ever think about that?
yes.
No, I have not actually. Not
Leave
me.
us with some
Do you ever
thoughts.
think that hospitals are just reincarnation spots? Huh? Respawn points? You ever think about that?
No, you only think about yourself, don't you?
Oh my goodness.
Respawn spots. God, dude.
You believe in it, you know?
Well, guys, we'll see you next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Mess that up.
Yeah.